Masechet Beitza, Daf Yud Beis Amud Beis at the Mishnah. We know that you cannot be mafrish tumas and maisles on Yom Tov. The person has tevel, fruit and vegetables that are tevel, and not given from a tumas and maisles. It's called tevel. You cannot be mafrish the tumas and maisles on Yom Tov. Why? Because we spoke about it before. It's what we call nire kemetaken. Right? It's a tikkun. It's a metaken money. Or if you remember, we spoke about in Daf Gimel Amud Aleph, and also in Daf Tes Amud Aleph we spoke about the Rambam and Minchot Shabbos and Perek Chov Gimel Al Tes that says that this is a different term, as the Rambam says, nira ke magdish. I remember we spoke about the Rambam. The Rambam actually brings both reasons. The Rambam brings also of nira ke metaken dover shaloyo metukon as the Rambam's lashon, right? And that means the melach of makir patish, and that's the Gemara in Shabbos Daf Kuf Mem Beis. Also, we said from Tosis and Chagiga Dafei, Rashi and Dafei, Tes Amud Aleph, the Balamor, the Rosh, they all say this reason because Hafrosh and Yom Tov is also because of Nire Kemetaken, the Rashban Avodas HaKodesh, Rashban our Sugya. Yeah. There's a different reason, as we said, Nire Kemagdish. Nire Kemagdish, and as we said, that the Hafrosh of Tuman Shabbos is because there's actually another reason, what we bought when we learned Yume, and that Gimel Amud Aleph over there, the Tois Yom Kippurim, the Maram Ben Chaviv. It's a different time. He says a very interesting time. He says because it's Tiltul Muktzeh. What it means Tiltul Muktzeh? The Chelek Tevel is Muktzeh. He's Metaltel Muktzeh. The Chelek Tevel boy. Yeah. Okay. Beseder. But that's the reason you cannot come and separate the Tumas or Maisas. And because he had the possibility to come to be mafrish from Erev Yom Tov, we're not matir even letzorech Eichel Nefesh. They come to be they come to do afroshas trumas or maises in Yom. But Chachomim was matir to be mafrish chala. Right? We said before in chala minais and Yom Tov, the person should, because the person is allowed to do the lisha. Mi lisha ve'ilach is mutar. So lisha is allowed to come and do lisha on Yom Tov, to knead the dough from Yom Tov and to eat because he wants fresh challah, he wants to eat pas chamo. So if you're going to come and be mechayevim to come and to do the lisha before Yom Tov, in order to be mafrish challah before Yom Tov, it's not the same. He's not going to have a fresh challah on Yom Tov, and therefore the Chacham was matir for him to be mafrish challah in Yom Tov. The same thing, the Chacham was matir also to be mafrish for beimah. The beimah that's shechted in Yom Tov, there's a thing. You have to give matonis. Matonis, one of the 24 matonis what's given to the Kohen are zoya, lechayim, and keva. That's given from every beimah was shechted. You give the zoya, lechayim, and keva to the Kohen. Even though that it's not really the same like Tumas and Maisles, because Tumas and Maisles is really a tikkun. Why it's really a tikkun? You cannot eat the tevel, I mean, anything what was gemais, it's called tevel. You cannot eat it before giving the tumas or maises. Differently is we spoke about the same thing. Chalas chutza. This is what we spoke in Aftes. The same thing. What we have over here is zoel chayim v'keva. The basal, the meat, does not become also be'achile before your mafrish. You have to separate it, not to come and to eat it together. Because if you're going to eat the zoel chayim v'keva, you're mevatel the mitzvah say of matnois keuna. As is Rashi from Rashi over here. And the Ran is differently. The Rosh Hashanah wants to do that from the Rambam, but the Tosis and Chulim. But let's learn it this way. As Rashi over here and the Ran definitely understand in our sugya. It's only a bittul asay. Now there's a machloiket b'Sham v'Hillel about if Chachomim or matir also to come and to take the chale and the matonis to the kohen. I mean, the person was mafrish the chale. You're allowed to be mafrish chale on Yom Tov, as we just spoke. You're allowed to be mafrish matonis, as let's call the matonis as we know it's called. Zoel Hayim Bekeva. So these matonis, yeah, now we're going to refer to them as matonis. Matonis time we will refer now to Zoel Hayim Bekeva. But you're allowed to do it on Yom Tov. Are you allowed to come and also to give it to the Kohen on Yom Tov? To move it to the Kohen or not? What's the reason for this? We can see in our Sugya. Look the Mishnah. Mishama Yoimim. Ein moilichin chale umatonis the Kohen v'Yom Tov bein sheumu. Me'emesh, I mean it's from yesterday. Ben shomu mayoim. Why? Because the Gezeire, Rashi explains over here. Rashi explains, look at Rashi, let's see Rashi. אין מוליכי חלה, אף על פי, שמודו בהפרשוסו, לא ישורו לי, או לחוסר, אלא תיקון לתקן איסוסו יתירו לי, ולא יויסו. Rashi explains that they were matir of them only the afrosha, no more. And why? Because this is a gzeira that you shouldn't be mafrish to some Maises and Shabbos and Yom Tov. And that's why Rishamai come and learn. Chala matonois, yeah, from Truma. And therefore, if you're going to come and allow him to come and also to do hoiloche, he's not going to be mavdil bechlal, and he's going to be matir also to do the everything. Now, because Chacham made a gzeira, and this is a very general gzeira. This gzeira is not to be mafrish Trumas and Maises and Shabbos and Yom Tov, and including in this gzeira, they also said not to go and to walk with it, the kohen, and not to give it to the kohen, or not to give it to the Levi in the house, right? And even in the house of the Noisan, even that the kohen comes to you, or the Levi comes to you. Now, Chacham was not matir, only letzorich reichel nefesh. Only what they were matir, the hafroshas chale, right? Because the person wants to eat the dough, the chale, matonis in the beimim, wants to eat the basar from the beimim. But going and giving it to the kohen is left in the original isel of not to be mafrish and not to be moilich and not to give the matonis keuna and Shabbos and Yom. That's what Rashi explains. If you look at Rashi, the mamas matonis, azay alechayim. והקיבו, אף אין תרומוס עמותו לשערים, ניצב להרים, והיה הכריך על שער הבוסר, ואף על פי שאין טויבלין כשער זבל, that means you're allowed to eat it, right? לאכול הבוסר ואכילה, that means the matonis. מיהו, אם לא פירש, if he didn't separate שער הבוסר man, and he ate it, הרי הוא יכלון ואויבו בעשי, that means he was מבטל לעשי. אילכך, הרמוסון התירו לו לחוסון, וכולם משום גזירה דאין מקבין או יסון, it's all in the original גזירה, when they were matir only to come to give it, but not in the sine and hoiloche. Let's go back to the Mishnah. Ubeisilel matirin, Beisilel matir, even to be moilich, and even to give the chalim matonis beim to the kohen, if they were Puram today, they were Puram last night, they are matir, everything as we can see in the Gemara why. We have to come to say that this is similar is a gzero shove. That means we have to come to be medame the halachos min rabbanon. Yeah, the whole dino not to be mafrish and not to give and not to be moilich and all of these things are dino min rabbanon. How are we going to be medame? Gzero shove. Chalo umatonos, they are maton lekoyen. Vetrume, what is it? It's also the same. Maton lekoyen. And the same, Keshem Shein Moilichin es atrume. Right? What came and prepared yesterday. Kach, the same thing also be moidet to me say Bishamet Vesilel, that ein Moilichin es amatones, you don't give it to the coin, even if they were separated today. Even though you are mafrish, you are gbia today, because you don't need to come and to give it in Yom Tov. You could wait also till tomorrow. Amulayim Vesilel loy. You can't be medame the two halachas, one to the other one. Chalem matona is the trume. Why? That means you cannot. You know why you trume? You cannot come and take the trume and go over to the kohen to give it to him in Yom Tov because he's not zaka b'truma. So the aromosa in Yom Tov because Chachamim did not give us chus and did not give you the right to come to the mafrish of the Yom Tov, and therefore. Also, you cannot come and give it, and not walk with it, and not take it to the kohen, the truma that was mafrish yesterday. Even though what that means matonis is including Zoel Chayam Keva and Chale. You're allowed to give it on Yom Tov. So the same thing, like you have a schus to come and to do the aromet, to come to be mafrish, the afrosh and Yom Tov. The same thing, Chacham gave you the schus, also the be moilich and to give it to the kohen also on Yom Tov. That would be still a time for them. So we can see a little bit more the svaras in the machlokes in the Gemara a little bit more. Look the Gemara. We find later on a Beitza. The Beitza over there we find the machlokes of few tanoim. How to explain the machlokes of Bisham and Bisilel in the halachas what we learned over in the Mishnah of Chale and Matonis in Yom Tov. The Gemara comes to discuss lefi what tanoim, which tanoim. The Mishnah over here understood the machloikas of Bisham and Beisila. Lefi with what Tanoim. And to explain our Mishnah, Lefi these Tanoim, how it goes. So let's see. So in the Beitza, you can see many Tanoim. Now the Gemara tries to figure, Lefi, these Tanoim, what we're going to see later on in the Beitza, which one fits in our Mishnah. The Gemara says in the beginning, Kosal Kadaito. Kosal Kadaito. That means the Gemara assumes now that when the Mishnah comes and says in Bishamai, Ein Moilichin Beyom the Matonish Omer Bein Mayoim Bein Memesh, yeah? It's Pashas, like, yeah, as we learn. What means? Shomu Mayoim. What means Shomu Mayoim? Yeah, from a baby that was shechted today. Veshehu Memesh, that what means the Shomu Memesh? That the baby itself was shechted yesterday. That means that Beis Shammai, they hold that even the matonis that who went from a baby that was shechted today, or chale from a dough that was needed today, you don't take it to the kohen. And if feed this assumption, says the Gemara, money must listen who the Mishnah fits. Lo Rab Yosi, velo Rab Yude, elo acherim. That means there is 3 Tanoim. What we can see in a second, that's the next words in the Gemara, that they have a machloikas, how to understand the machloikas Bisham B'Silel. It doesn't fit, not Lefi Rab Yosi, not Lefi Rab Yude, just Acherim. Acherim is Rameo, therefore. Where do we see it? The Tanya. Omar Rab Yude. Lo yinechleku B'Shamai u'B'Silel ala matonos. That means the matonos of a beime, and the same thing as Chale. She'umu me'erev Yom Tov. She'moilichin im ha'matonos she'umu me'ayoim. V'shenishchotu me'ayoim. That means that the matonos that were huram, yeah, they were given, they were separated, they were mafrish from what was shechted today. That's even Beis Shammai agree that what moilichin noison for sure could take it. Why? Because you're allowed to come to be mafrish it in yontav. You're allowed to also give it to yontav. You don't need to come and to save it till tomorrow in order to give it. When is the machloikas? Lo yinechleku elo lo yilichon bifnei yatzmon. That means the matonos or the chalid that was you were mafrish yesterday, not today. You were mafrish yesterday. If to go and to give it today to the kohen, shebei Shammai yoimrim ein moilichin, ubeis Hillel yoimrim moilichin. V'kach hoyu Beis Shammai donin. The time of Beis Shammai was azay. Chalu matonos matono lekohen. Trume is also trume matonos lekohen, matono lekohen. Geshem she'ein moilichin is a trume. Why? Because you didn't come and do the afosha yesterday. You don't do because you don't do afosha in Yom Tov, so you also don't take it in Yom Tov. Kach, the same thing. Ein moiliches amatonos in Yom Tov. Amru lohem Beis Hillel loy. Im amartem betrume she'einu zakei b'aramoso. Teimu b'matones shezakei b'aramoso. And because we are matir to go to give it to you're allowed to give it to them. You're also allowed to. And then matones, even the one that was given yesterday, and even to come and to boil is we call it lo ilicho me'atzmon. Yeah, that means even to only to do the ilocha you're allowed. Now this Beitza, we find another opinion, another shita. What was the machloek b'Shamai b'Silel? Yeah. So till now, what we learned that was Rabbi Yudah. So Rabbi Yudah understands that the machloekes is not by lo ilichom b'fnei atzmon. Yeah. Just what the machloekes is only when the ones that, as we said, to come to be your matter to be really the oiloche, the matones were given yesterday. Omar Rabbi Yosi. Rabbi Yosi sagt anders. Lo yinechleku. This is the same Beitza. Lo yinechleku Beis Shammai u'Beis Hillel al matonos. That means matonos be'emer. Sayev they were shechted today. Sayev they were shechted yesterday. Shemoilichin. You're allowed to take it, as we call it, moilichin b'fnei atzmon. Yeah, moilichin b'fnei atzmon. It means ki were matir to be moilich. Even the matonos that were huram when they were mafrishet yesterday from Erev Yom Tov. Why? Once you're allowed to come and give truma on Yom Tov, you're allowed to do it all. Yeah, like Beis Hillel lefi Rab Yudah. Yeah, let's not get mixed up. What Rab Yudah learns b'shitas Beis Hillel, Rab Yosi learns that no one has a machloekes. What is that? The matonos. Yeah, matonos. That was of a baby that was shechted. Even yesterday, I could take it over to the kohen today. Lo yinechleku. When is the machloekes? Lo yinechleku elo ala truma. Shebei Shammai yoimrim ein moilichin. Which is moilichin. That means truma. Truma that cannot given today. Yeah, that you gave yesterday. Ukach hoyu Beis Hillel donin. Chalu matonos. Matono lekohen. Utrume matono lekohen. Geshem shemoilichin sa matonos. Kach moilichin sa truma. Right. So be'etzem Beis Hillel are coming now and learning. Paker. Pum paker. You medamet lekule. Amru leBeis Shammai loy. Im amarti v'matonos shezakei b'aramoson. You're allowed to come in to be mafrishet on Yom Tov. Toimu betrume. She'ein zakei b'haramoson. That you're not allowed to come to do truma in Yom Tov. You also ask the same thing to come and to do the hoiloche to take it over to the Kohen on Yom Tov. That is Rabbi Yossi. Let's see another shita. Another shita to explain the Machlokes Bishama Yisrael is Acherim. Acherim oimrim lo yinechleku Bishama Yisrael ala truma she'ein moilichin. Lo yinechleku elo ala matonos. That means again, say if it was from today, say if it was from yesterday. Shebeishama yoimrim ein moilichin, B'Yisrael oimrim moilichin. Now, the way the Gemara understood in Beishamai that they are not matir to be moilich, the matonos, yeah, the matonos. Even matonos of Beima that was shechted today, right? So mitzad echad is very clear that what our Mishnah is all obviously. Our Mishnah, that let's go back. What our Gemara assumed? Our Gemara assumed that Beishamai are not matir to do the iloche, even matonos of Beima that was shechted today. Rabbi Yossi is definitely not. Because Rabbi Yossi held that Beishamai are matir to be moilich matonos, and Beisila are matir even to be moilich truma. Yeah. The thing. Mitzad Sheni, it's clear that our Mishnah fits lefi acherim. We were just said now, right? Beishamai moilichin, Beisila moilichin, and everything. Says the Gemara, let's go. So Tolavaya was the price. Now says the Gemara, Bazoi leime acherim veloi Rabbi Yehuda. So our Mishnah, Rabbi Yossi definitely not, right? Rabbi Yossi says that Beishamai are matir to be moilich matonos. It's definitely not our Mishnah. Beisila matir even to walk with truma. But leime, our Mishnah is acherim veloi Rabbi Yehuda. Why? Because Rabbi Yehuda, what Rabbi Yehuda said? Let's be mistaken. Rabbi Yehuda said that what? That Beishamai are moide, that moilichin matonos that were not matonos that you gave yesterday, but matonos that were hurmu on Yom Tov, right? You can be right, and he was matir also to take with it matonos that were huram from Erev Yom Tov together with this. So for sure it can't be. Omar Rove, miktane shehumu me'ayoim shenishchatu me'ayoim. Shehur muktane, ulo shchitos on memesh. What's the pshat? Rove sagt das. Rove says no. It's no muchaf ma'u Mishnah. It's no muchaf ma'u Mishnah. Daf. Be'emes, you can come and say that our Mishnah goes also to Rabbi Yehuda. Just what? I have to change the assumption. We assume in the beginning that if you be Shammai, you cannot be moilich. Yeah? You cannot be moilich bichlal lefi Beishamai. Matonos were on Yom Tov, and even matonos that were hurmu hayoim. That means chale. Matonos of Zohar Chaim Vekeva. You cannot come and take. Even if you gave it today, you cannot come and give it to the Kohen. You don't know. Was steht? Miktani. That's what he says. Miktani. That means now Mishnah it says that if you be Beishamai, the din that you don't be moilich matonos that are hurmu from yesterday or from Yom Tov. It says of the matonos that were hurmu hayoim or the nishchatu. No. What is in our Mishnah? Ein moilichin esa matonos shehurmu when me'ayoim. No state. Me'ayoim. If you look at the lashon of the Mishnah, what state? Ein moilichin esa matonos shehurmu me'ayoim. It doesn't say that even the ones that were shechted from yesterday. That's why we're going to come and say that the ones that were shechted yesterday, only them, yeah, that the aroma was from yesterday, but the ones that were aroma from today, and that's why you can be moilichet. But the ones that were from yesterday, you can't be moilichet because you could have done it from yesterday after the shechita. But if they were shechted today in Yom Tov, because you didn't have a possibility to bring it from yesterday, you're allowed to come and bring it today, even if you be Shammai. Lefi this, now, the new assumption, what we just said, you can fit the Mishnah also lefi Rabbi Yehuda. Yeah, so the new assumption, what we came, we were medayek in the words. Ein moilichin samaton shehurmu mehayoim. Dafke, the ones from yesterday. But the ones from today, it could be also lefi Beishamai, it could be moilich to the kohen. Now, lefi this new assumption, says Gemara, Ibazoi, leime Rabbi Yehuda, velo yachir. Okay, let's say no. You know what? So our Mishnah fits. Can we say that our Mishnah fits? Dafke lefi acherim and not lefi Rabbi Yehuda. Sorry, lefi Rabbi Yehuda and not lefi acherim. Says the Gemara, no. Afilu teime. Afal became we could come and say that our Mishnah fits also lefi acherim. Afilu teime acherim. Ve'anoch the nishchatu memesh. What we ask lefi acherim, right? Beishamai asked to come and do give them matonos. It's talking about the ones that were shechted yesterday. The matonos and behemoths that were shechted today. Yeah, you're allowed to come and to be moilich lefi Beishamai. If you're explaining this by acherim, that also lefi acherim, the one that was shechted today, you're allowed to take it over to the kohen today. This is the same like Rabbi Yehuda. And for the Gemara, no. Ike beinayu tfeilo. What means tefillah? Tefillah means that if Lefi Bishama, you're allowed to be moilich together with the matanis from the Beimah that was shechted today, also the matanis that was shechted yesterday. Lefi Rabbi Yudeh, yeah, let's explain it. Lefi Rabbi Yudeh, Bishamai a matir to do tefillah. Tefillah means the iker and the tofel, yes? You're allowed to lead spoiler. Lead spoiler means once I'm sending today, and today I'm allowed to send, right? The one that I shechted today, I'm allowed to send as well. The one that I was megalgel today, I done the lisha today, I'm allowed to send the chaleh today. Can I send also together with this, also the one that I gave and I done yesterday? Lefi Rabbi Yudeh Bishamai a matir to do tefillah and to be mitzarev the ones that I done yesterday to do iloche. Lefi the acherim is going to be also. Now our Mishnah is not talking about tefillah. Our Mishnah is only talking about the isur to go and to give the isur hoiloche. Yeah, the isur hoiloche, the hoilochas matonis of the beimah that was shechted yesterday goes sai lefi Rabbi Yudeh and sai lefi acherim. Says the Gemara weiter. Omar Rabbi Yudeh, Omar Shmuel. Halacha ke Rabbi Yossi. That means the halacha of Rabbi Yossi is lefi Beis Hillel. Yeah, what Rabbi Yossi said in Beis Hillel, let's be mesakim again. Rabbi Yossi said in Beis Hillel that you're allowed to be moilich, even Truma. Even Truma. Truma, you cannot come and be makbiyah on Yom Tov. You cannot come and do the afrosh on Yom Tov. You're allowed to be mafrish. Sorry, you cannot be mafrish, but you're allowed to be moilich. Yeah, that's the thing. That means that's the maskon of the Gemara. The Lefi Beis Hillel, you're allowed to be moilich matanos even if they were shechted yesterday. La halacha we pass like Rabbi Yossi that you're allowed to be moilich afilu truma. That's what we pass in la halacha. Says the Gemara. Yeah, you can ask me from the sugya daftes, right? Daftes amidalef. What was the maskone? Remember? Over there we pass like Avur de Shmuel. Most of there's a steer between Avur de Shmuel and Shmuel. The Gemara says over there we pass like Avur de Shmuel. That what? Only if he was megalgel the Isa be'erev Yom Tev, right? Then you don't mafrish it on Yom Tev. You don't have to be mafrish it. You don't have to be moilichet. As I fact the Rashba. Rashba fact us, and that's why he says some say it's a sugya chaluk. Was one of the places where we find sugya chalukos. That's why he said that the whole sugya is done only legabi matonis Israel chayim ekeva and not leinyan chale. If you megalgel the Isa from yesterday, so you're allowed to come and to be moilichet only in a way that you are. The aroma was from yesterday, not Rashi's nishmach. Okay, says the Gemara. Rav Tuvi bereid Rav Nechemye aveli galve de chamre truma. He had of there a jug of wine that was truma. Also lekamei Rav Yosef. Omar le maulam tuye lekohen oidna. What about? Yes, this is truma. You cannot be mafrish truma in Yom Tov. Let's not forget, this is not chale, not royal chayim vekeva. This is truma. So Rav Toivi bereid Rav Nechemye had over there a jug of water, a jug of a galva means like not a barrel, it's a little smaller than a barrel of wine. Now this wine is truma. That means he will not mafrish it today. He comes to Rabbi Yosef. Can I come and give it today to the kohen? What we just said that Rabbi Yossi said that Beis Hillel, even Truma, you're allowed to be moilich. Oishpezichne means the host. The Rove Barab Chonon Avele Isuraise de Chardale. Yad Isuraise means bundles. Bundles of the mustard before you actually turn it to powder or to what we do. This is only the next stage. What we have mustard is thing. It's called this tarmilin or sharvitin. It's called in the Mishnah. Like grows like it grows the same like we have string bean. Yeah, very similar. And then inside you open it. That's called the sharvit, like a string bean. Like a pod. Oh, that's the word, a pod. So it grows in a pod, and inside the pod you have the ziroinim. The ziroinim of the mustard seeds. This you can buy also today. Mustard seeds, you put it in some recipes have what's called mustard seeds. It's not so easy to get them. Anyway, but you have mustard seeds. Now the mustard seeds are inside the pod. Yeah, it's like sharvitim, milim. Sometimes it's called sharvitim. So he had over there this isuraisa de chardale, bundles of the pods of a Omar Lee. Now, so he tells who was it? Rove Bar Chonon. Rove Bar Chonon. He tells him, "Maule piruchei umeichal minayu beyontav." Can I come and do what's called mefarek? How could I do the mefarek? By crushing it in the hand. I have these pods. And in the pods, I have the seeds of sorry, of mustard. I want to come and crush it by hand, right? These things, and then because you're going to crush the pods, you're going to come out from it the seeds. Even though this is a tolde of disha, yes, we spoke about on Shabbos and the Shabbos Shiva Dvasha. So the shaila is what's called is we remember in Shabbos it's called melile, right? Something that was done disha, what's done by hand. It's called melile. The kotafto melilo is beyoder. It's called melile. Yeah, melile is muter on yontev. Mitzad echad, it's oichel nefesh. You're allowed to cook on yontev. Oichel nefesh? No, you're allowed to do on yontev because oichel nefesh, or because you could have done it on erev yontev, so you're not allowed to do on yontev. Now, disha you're allowed to do on yontev? No, disha you could have done on erev yontev. You're not allowed to come and do it on Yom Tov. So this is a tolde, right? It's a tolde of disha. Once disha you could do on erev Yom Tov, you're not allowed to do it on Yom Tov. So maybe melile because it's a tolde of disha. It's the same shaila.
So what about peanuts? If you have a peanut and you break the shell, well, would you call that dash? Would that be called dash?
That could be also. It's a big shaila peanuts. I don't know. You're gonna have to ask your rabbi.
Yeah, I didn't know shaila. I'm just asking now. While I'm
peanuts, if you're allowed to come to the right, the come, and then the fly. So that's yes. It's also shaila mitzad, also mitzad to do it by a dime, and it's also mitzad boiler. There are two problems.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see what he answered them. Lo yave beyodei. Rove Bar Chonon did not know what to answer on the shaila. Also came the who was it? The Balachsanya, the host, the Kamei de Rove, came to Rove and he asked him, Omar Lei. So Rove answers him, Moilelin, Melilois, or Mefarchin, Kitnios beyontev. That means you're allowed to come and to crush by hand. Yeah, Melilois by rubbing the hand, or this is talking about Melilois, is basically wheat. Yeah, talking about the wheat. When you're coming and you're taking the grain and it has on it a chaff, and you're coming and you're rubbing it by hand, you're basically separating the chaff from the grain, and that's you're allowed to do it on Yom Tov, to take out the grain on Yom Tov of the wheat from all the peels around it. And the same thing, mefarchin, that means you could rub it also the kitnios, yeah? Kitnios is anything that grows inside pods and Yom Tov. So basically you're allowed to do because mustard is also kitnios. Now, even that these melochas, you could have done it in Erev Yom Tov. They were not matter to do it in Yom Tov. Or if afil letzorich al nefesh, melile and priche beyad are different. Why? Because this is not it's not mamish melocha. This is called the melocha kelachar yad, and therefore in Shabbos it's also to do it only with the rabbanon. Yom Tov you're allowed to do it letzorich al nefesh, even though that this is something that you could have done from Erev Yom Tov. Yeah, that's the pshat. Now this is very, very, very important halachas. So I'm just going to mention 2 words because we are already behind. But I can give us a little bit of Mekoimis to check it out because it's very, very important halachas. And Simon Tov Kufyut. Tov Kufyut. So if Aleph. The Taz brings over there, what's the Lachar Yad over here? What's the Lachar Yad? So the Taz explains the Melila itself. The Melila itself, this itself is considered what we call Lachar Shinui. Yeah, Pashas, that means the etzem asiyah beyad, right? This is considered Lachar Yad because b'derech you don't do the disha or piruk, you don't do it b'yodayim, right? That's all you think. Now the problem with this, what we find the Achroinim, they speak about it, that we find in the Gemara Shabbos Kuf Chof Ches Amud Aleph. We find nicht so. Why? Because we find over there Rabbi Yehuda is matir to do melile bekli, aber Rabbi Yehuda comes and says bilvad shelo yimlo il arbe. That's the condition of Rabbi Yehuda. Bilvad shelo yimlo il arbe. Mitzat sheni, we find in the Gemara in Shabbos that I given on base and Rashi that tlisha beyad you're allowed to do. Derech tlisha says Rashi no. Derech tlisha beyad. So the shinui is what he doesn't come and he's not stepping on it. He's not doing it derech disha. Just he's doing it derech moilel. So only disha. That means if you're doing the melile, kedarko is going to be actually not kelach hayad. But in Shulchan Aruch, he learns that melile afilu kedarko is considered disha lachayad because he's not taking out the not lachayad is opening of the pot and taking out from the pot. He's taking out the seeds. But he's not taking out the seeds from the pot. Just what he is moilel. He's rubbing the pot, and the seeds is by itself goes out. And that's not the way to do it. Only with a special kli that's meyued lekach. Kum toida the iser is only midarabonon. That's why it's going to be mutar be shinui. It's going to be mutar be shinui. Now there is a gleital that says even by a kli is not going to be it's going to be okay. 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 There is a very, very, very important point over here. A very important point. Mamish 2 minutes because we're gonna get let's push it off later on the Chof Gimel on base. But this is something that comes over and over and over and over and over in Masechet Beitza the whole time. That anything that you could have done Erev Yom Tov, right? You're not allowed to do on Yom Tov. And over here we have what we said that Melile, why you're allowed to do it on Yom Tov, even that you're allowed to do it Erev Yom Tov, because in Yom Tov, because it's only Yisud Rabbanon, only Yisud Rabbanon, so that's in Yom Tov, you're allowed to do it L'tzorech Oichel Nefesh. That's what Rashi explains over here. And Rashi also later on in the Chof Gimel base, over there it's in the Mishnah, it's in the Mefurish Mishnah, that you're not allowed to do Melocha L'tzorech Oichel Nefesh only if you could not come and do it in Erev Yom. And therefore Rashi also over here explains, and also we can see in Nomad base, and you've given Nomad base, that's what? That the Shailas over here, Ketzad Moilel is on Yom Tov. Why? Because you have a heter, special heter, so that's why you need to have a shinui. But the rest of the Rishonim, that's only Rashi. Now, the rest of the Rishonim learn differently. The rest of the Rishonim, that's in the beginning of the third Perek, in Ein Sodin, they learn that L'tzor Oichel Nefesh you're allowed to do Meloches, that you could have done it Erev Yom Tov. Just what? You're not allowed to come and to do it, right, for Yom Tov and not for prepared for a long time ahead. So, lefi them, Melile is allowed because the derech is not to do Melile for many days ahead. It's to do it only for Leyoimoi Bilvad. And that's why the Shaila is, right, the whole Shaila is only Lekavi Shabbos. Yom Tov Meikar Adin you're allowed to do it because it's Oichel Nefesh. So the whole Shaila in the Gemara of Melilos is only Legabi Shabbos. That is the rest of the Rishonim. Okay, but this is a very important point. What we're going to see in Hashem and the next in that of Dalet about what things are Erev Yom. Okay. Eise ve Abaye. So Abaye fragt Rove from a Beitza. We learned the Beitza. Steht in Beitza also. Hamoilel Melilos me Erev Shabbos. Erev Shabbos. And even, he done it Erev Shabbos. Now, after he came and he done this Melile, was left over there a bit of seeds, a bit of, from the fields. Lemocho, now it's all mixed. He wants to come and separate them, right? Lemocho menapeyach, miyad liyad ve'oichel. That means he can come and blow it. Now, he also has to do it b'shinui, right? He has to do it b'shinui. That means he cannot come and take a mapuach. Yeah, mapuach is a special kli that does over there the wind. He has to do it. He can do it with his mouth, right? He can blow it with his mouth, and that's called a shinui. That's called a shinui, miyad leyad, and that's he's going to come and separate the dirt from the seeds, and he's allowed to come and eat it straight away. Avoloi, but he cannot come and do it bekanun v'lo betamku, right? Cannot be do boirer. Now we're talking about boirer. He's boirer the klipois, right? This thing from the Tanu. Why? Because the kanun and the tampu, we know, these are special kalim of coming and separating the psoiles from the oichel. And that's why it's going to be also. That's why it's going to be also. And then Napo Nachvoro is the Chiv Chatot, right?
This Weiss. He's the grandson of Rabbeinu Unsinger.
No.
Please.
Amoilel Melilois Me'erev Aliyad, that means aliyad means a little bit, a drop. Why? Because you're allowed to do boirer on Yom Tov without the shinui. to eat boy bayoy. And therefore, afilu bekonoin, afilu betamchui. What? When you do the boiler a drop only for today, you're allowed to avaloi, but you're not allowed to come in to do it. Betavlo, veloi benapo, veloi bechvoro. That these are special, like a sieve. Yeah, that is a special kli that's made for boiler. So if someone's coming boiler, it looks like he's doing it right, not for today. It looks like he's doing it leyomim rabim. He's doing it for the coming days, and that you know, not Yom Tov, but tomorrow you're allowed to do Yom Tov only. Let's say nefesh of Yom Tov. Now, what's masha from the brayse? That's the brayse. Let's be medayik the brayse, right? We said you're allowed to be moilel melilas. But when you're allowed to be moilel melilas, me'erev Yom Tov, then you're allowed to do it. Ober beyom Tov, right? Yom Tov itself. Ober beyom Tov also, right? It's going to be also Ober Yom Tov loy. You're not allowed to come and you're not matir melilas. Why? Because you cannot come and do it in Erev Yom Tov. So what's muchach over here? Not like Rove. Rove was matir to do melile on Yom Tov. And for Rove, no. Afilu teme beyom Tov. Even you're going to come and say you're allowed to do melile on Yom Tov. What's going to be shver? What we're not in the safe of the brayse. I'm moilel me'erev Yom Tov, right? We're medayik. Dafke Erev Yom Tov doesn't mean to be moilel. It doesn't mean that you're not allowed to do it in Yom Tov itself. I did it. Then reisha me'erev Shabbos, right? In the beginning, how will we start the brayse? I'm moilel me'erev Shabbos. Therefore, also Tane say, "V'nami me'erev Yom Tov." Be'emes, you can do it on Yom Tov. Says the Gemara, "Im motzinu truma." The Gemara says, if you find, are you allowed to do melile in order to eat it on Yom Tov? On Yom Tov, lichoire. So we find also that what? Im motzinu truma shezakai baramosa. That you're allowed to also to come at the truma, the zakai baramosa on Yom Tov. Why? Because what happens in the melile? What happens in the melile? A person has over there the pods of mustard. He does the melila. What happens over here? Nigmero melachton. That's what happens. Once it's nigmero melachton, it's chal on the din of tevel. Now we know when you have to come to be mafresh to Mr. Meisles. Gemar melochem. When is the gemar melocha of this mustard? When you're done the melila. When you finish the melila. When you finish the melila, what happens? Gemar melocha. Once you've done the gemar melocha, it's mischayev be'afrosh trume, because people do not come and be mafresh trume when it's, we call it be'oidom be'shibolim. Now it's be'oidom be'sharvitin or tarmilin, the pods. And if you cannot come and give them a trume in Yom Tov, you're not allowed to do the melile, because you're not allowed to do melile only the tzorech or yichel nefesh for today to give it. Must be if you allow me to do the melile, you allow me to do also trume, because you're allowing me to do melile only for eating today, right? Or yichel nefesh for l'tzorech Yom Tov. Now, once I do the melile, I'm yischayev trume. Now, I could eat it only if I give in the trume. So if I do the melile in Yom Tov, I'm yischayev trume. If I can't give trume in Yom Tov, I'm not allowed to eat it in Yom Tov, so I can't do the melile. It's back to the same circle. If you're allowed to do melila in Yom Tov, you're allowed to also give truma in Yom Tov, because the melila is the gemar melochem. So muchach from here that they were matir to be mafresh truma melilas in Yom Tov. There's a chiyuv truma. It's chalanet boy bayom. Vetnan mitzat sheni pei the gemar we learn now mishte. What we see tell Beishamai. Loim amartem betruma she'einu zakai ba'aromosa v'chulei. That means what's mashva now mishte? That in every case you're not allowed to be mafresh truma Yom Tov. That means Beishamai, right? Beisila tell Beishamai. You say truma, you know zakai baramosa. That means also Beisila masking that you're not allowed to give truma on Yom Tov. And for the Gemara loy kashe. Be'emes, everyone agrees. Melila, you're allowed to do melila Yom Tov. And afrosha, not everyone's masking that you're allowed to do afrosha in Yom Tov. How are you going to find loy kashe? That you give him a Ho Rabbi. Oh, Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda. What we find that you can come and give truma in Yom Tov, it's going to be Rabbi. What said that the melilos are mischayev truma, and what we find over there that the now mishte that it's eino zakai ba'aromosa, so you cannot come and give truma in Yom Tov. It's talking about the Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda. And the Gemara brings down the brayse when we find Rabbi and Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda have a machloikus about the chiyuv truma of melilos. What is the thing? The Tanya. Hichnis shibolin. A person, and now we're speaking about truma, the chiyuv truma, as we know, yes, ne'abayis, gemar meloche, right? These things are mechayev, the truma be trumosa, the thing. So a person came and bought in shibolim. That means his house shibolim is before you done the dishe. Before you done the dishe to separate the chaff from the grain, it's called shibolim. Yeah, it's still in the stalk, it's still in there. So he bought into the house over there the wheat that way. Last man he said, now you cannot yet do it into dough. Only you first have to do dishe, and then only you can start to you separate the grain, the crush, and then to grind it, and then you have flour. And okay, you have a whole process. If you have still a whole process, what it's called, loy nigmer melachton, right? So it's not yet nigmer melachton of the shibolim, and that's why he's allowed to come to eat from it without giving trume. What achile? Oichel mehen aray upoto. He's supposed to give a portion to some mices, and you're allowed to come and to eat from it achilas aray. Oh, so we can see, but the way is not talking about Yom Tov. It's a person that comes and thinks, Achila Shabbos, Seudah Shabbos is Kiveh. You're right. Achila Shabbos is Kiveh. Now, says the Gemara. We can see that's the Gemara about. Yeah, the Gemara speaks about Shabbos, Yom Tov. The Gemara. But let's see first Stam. Now, but if what that means if he came and bought into the house, that means a drop, a few shibolim together, yeah, and he wants to eat it the way it is. Just what? He's gonna remove the peel around it, yeah. He's gonna remove it how? By rubbing it with his hands. But that's not really a thing, yeah. So what's gonna be the din? Rabbi's mechayev him to come, and it's called already Gemar Meloche, and he's gonna have to come and give a foshas trumas or meises. Why? Because once it came into the house, Misha asked, this is now Nigmer Malach. It's called Nigmer Malach. Why? Because the Fi Rebbe, someone who brings in Shibolim into the house, and he doesn't have in mind to come to do Dishe and to do a Goyren and to do all of these things. What you have to know in the process, this is called Nigmer Malachton, the Achnose itself, and it's Mishay Betrume. And if it's Mishay Betrume, Afilu Achila Sarai, you cannot eat without giving to some Maises. Rabbi Yosi bar Rabbi Yude, Poiter, he patters it from Trume because he says, Lemaise, without miruach and without coming, miruach means gathering it together, yeah, doing a kri, yeah, a sifer, kri, right? After you come and you do the disha, there's no chiyuv trumas and maises, and you're allowed to continue to eat it in the house, achilasara, even though you put it into the house. Now that's machlokes. Frag the Gemara. If you assume now that Moilel Melilo is in Yom Tov, that what is going to come and be Zakai, why? Kegoin, She'echnis Shibolin Lasis Men Isa. This person came and bought over there Shibolin stones in order to come and to make a Isa. Yeah, after he's going to come and do the Goyren and the Miruach and the house. Yeah, so he decided, so it's not Chayv Truma, right? Because he decided Shibolin. Now and then, he changed his mind. Once he was inside the house, he changed his mind. So what happened now? Once he changed his mind, was Mischayev and Thomas and Meisers. The Tavle Beyomen, because he came and he bought it into the house. What was his thought in the beginning? His thought was to come and to bring it is a goyren, right? To bring it is shibolim, to do tisha, to do miruach, to do a sifet, to do a kri, to do a goyren, the Gemar Meloche to do. He changed his mind. So Tavle Beyomen, what means? Lemafreya. It's described in Yom Tov, Tumas Umaisas. That means by bringing in the shibolim home, the machshava was to do a goyren, a proper goyren at home. And that what gives it, the goyren would have given it the Shem Toiras Tumas Umaisas. That would give it the name of Tumas Umaisas. But Lefi Kolzman, that Lefi his machshava, yeah, he was planning to come and to do it to the goyren. Yeah, it was planning to make a goyren. Why? Because it's adayin lo nigmero melachton, right? It's not chayv to ma'asos. But the second that he changed his mind and he decided, you know what? I don't want to do all goyren. I'm going to take a few shibolim in my hand. I'm going to do melilos. I'm going to rub it, and then I'm going to come. So what happened? So once he changed his mind to do it melilos, it's chal Hashem goyren lemafreya from when he brought it into the house. Why? Because now as huva adon afreya from that time when he came and he brought it into the house, it was not missing the Gemar Meloche, and that's why he's going to be higher. Now, just what? If when he came and brought it into the house, he thought to come to do melilos, so this achnose to the house, it doesn't give the shibolim a din of trumas and maisas. Why? Because this is a achnose with a machshavas ptur from maisa and not a machshavas ptur. So you could also have over here, right? That's the way Rashi explains. That's the way Rashi explains it. Okay, there's a few shilas on it, but that's the way Rashi explains. And for the Gemara. Now, Be'emes, says the Gemara, Sai lefi Rabbanon, Sai lefi Rebbe, and Sai lefi Rabbi Yisrael Rabbi Yehuda. You're right. The person is Zakai Baramoso of Truma in Yom Tov. He's going to be sure from our Mishnah, right? Because we just proved now that you could come and do Aramoso in Yom Tov. What are you going to stand in our Mishnah? Beis Hillel say, Im amartem beTruma, she'eno Zakai Baramoso, right? Yom Tov. What's the pshat? Trume, that means what Beis Hillel said in Trume. Im amartem beTruma, it doesn't mean every Trume. Roiv Trume, that means Al pi Roiv, it's Misrayim Trume, only after when? After Disha and Miruach. And that's what happens when Disha and Miruach happen. This happens always before Yom Tov and on Yom Tov. The majority of Shibolim in the world, when do you do the Disha? Beforehand. You don't do the Truma and Yom Tov. Why? Because the Gmar Melocha was from Erev Yom Tov. So you see, Disha is a Melocha that's also by Yom Tov. You're right. There is a miut Shiboli what people do Melilois. And the Melilois, you're right, you can come and give Truma also in Yom Tov. But let's not forget, you're not allowed to come to be Moiliche to the coin because it's the Gzeran, all of the Truma. Why? Because we go Basar Roiv. Roiv of the Truma is done Erev Yom Tov. You cannot come and give it on Yom Tov, so you don't be Moiliche on Yom Tov. But you don't miut. Then you could come and do on Yom Tov Melilois, but we came and said, do not come and give it to be Moilichet. Even the Melilois. But you could give a Truma in Yom Tov, you don't walk with it to the coin. Why? You don't Moilichet? Roiv Truma in the world. Roiv Truma is not given in the world. Omar Abaye. Machloikes be Shibolin. Only by this, Pater Rabbi Yisrael Rabbi Yehuda, for myself, when he does the Melile, because the majority, as we said, majority of wheat in the world is you done with the disha and not melile, and the goyren, that what does it into a chiyuv of Tumas Ma'aser and not in miruach of this. Avol bekidniyos, the derech of kidneys is many people, not the mute, many people is to come and they take many kidneys together, and they take over there what's something the bank. That's a thing what you do chavote, and they possibly bang with it, right? They bang, and every time when they bang, they have a special wood where they bang on it, and it comes out a bit of thing. Now, so there are lots of kidneys, and whenever they cook, they need a spice, they need a this. They come and they crush a little bit, and it comes out a bit, and they use it. That's the many people do it. So over there, kidneys, because that's the way to do it. Divrei koil. Once you bring it into the house. And even the Isuraise, Tavle, the Isuraise, that means when they are bundled, yeah, this is called the Goyren, and that is going to come and be Tevel, and even Achilas Arai is going to be awesome. Says the Gemara. Leime Mesayali. Maybe we have a Raya to Abaye, what Abaye just said from a Mishnah and Turmes. There's a Mefurish Mishnah, Turmes, Perek, Yud, Mishnah, Vov. Steht auf dem Mishnah. Tilson is a type of, some say fenugreek, a type of a kidneys. So Tilson shel tevel. Areze koitesh could come again. Tilson is also works the same thing. There's a pods, and inside the pods we have the seeds of the tilson. So some say you're allowed to come. Areze koitesh. Areze koitesh means you could crush these pods. And he estimates how much seeds you have inside. He gives Trume only ala zera, you don't have to give on the pods. You give only, that means there's no chiyuv of Trume. You call it the eights over here, but the eights means over here the pods, the tarmilim, yeah, what they actually, the seeds are inside them. Even though that, what's the chiddush? The chiddush is as even though these pods also have a bit of taste of the seeds, yeah, and that's why he doesn't do the Ketisha yesterday. He does the Ketisha mamish a minute before he has to put it into the pot. Why? Oh, because it should be fresh, because the taste of the tarmilim is also the same like this. That's why he does it before the aprosha. He comes and he does the ktisha. It should be halal on the zera and not on the tree. On the tree. Oh, let's be medayek. Says the Gemara. My love. This Mishnah, Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda. The Omar Hosom na dafka over there. Shibolim over there lo yitavle. Over hoche tavle. That means chavilet tilson. The people is to come and yes, to crush it, drop before you put it into the house. Yeah, that is called tevel. So it's muchach like Abaye. That Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda is moide. Yeah, again, let's be chazer again. What Rabbi Yossi Abaye says. Abaye says that Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda is moide. And kitnias. At what? That if you bring over there Yisurai, so you bring bundles into the house, that is already Gmar Meloch, and that is the Yisur Tevel. This is the Chayre, Mefurish over here in the Mishnah. There's the Gemara Eloi. No, this is not a Raya. Over here, from this Mishnah is not a Raya to Abaye. Why? Because this Mishnah, you could come and say that this is also Lefi. Rebbe, that is, let's remember what Rabbi said. Rabbi said that even the person that brings Melilois, right? Melilois, he's also going to be Chayav Tumas Umaisas. By the Gemara, Rebbe, Maya Tilson, I feel Shibolim, you tell me Tilson. For sure, Tilson is Tevel. Even Shibolim, and Bederach Klal do not become Tevel. I feel okay. We came and said, Lefi, Rebbe, it is Tevel. Says the Gemara, no. Elomai. What do you say? That our Mishnah is not Rebbe, just what? Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda. Nishmein and Shara Mini Kitni. So tell me the rest of the Kitni, that even though many people do the Disha, and then, right? And they do from there the Kri and Miruach. And Afal Pike, what we said, and if he brought over their bundles into the house, they become also because of Tevel, without the Kri and Miruach. And by this, just tell me that the rest of the kit is the culture came Tilson. Why? Because the Tilson, that is the terech to do so. To come and to do the Ktisha, drop, and to put the Tarmilim, right? And to put the Tarmilim inside without taking out the seeds from inside. Just what? Elamai must be that our Mishnah goes with Rebbe. And you can't prove that what the Tana didn't say Shibolim, because the Mishnah, this Mishnah doesn't go like you. Just why? Tilson, it's our Tana had to teach us a special din dafke legabe Tilson. Why? What's the din that he had to teach us legabe Tilson? Because if you go to Rebbe, tell me even Shibolim. Going to Gemara. Tilson it's because Sal kedai tochamin I might come and think oil veta'am eitzo yofir yishove lifo ishnami eitzo yikomash malon. That's the chiddush. We said before when we spoke about it. That also their tarmilim, also the pods, they have also very similar taste to the seed itself. I might come and think that's what, sometimes they throw into the pot, they throw for the spice. They don't take out the seed, they throw the whole thing in. So you might come and say that you have to give trume also from the pods. No, you have to give dafke from the seeds and not from the pods. But be'emes, Shibolim is going to be also when they were brought into the house in bundles, like Rabbi. Fit also like Rabbi. Ike de Amre to explain Lefi Abaye differently. Omar Abaye. Machloikes, that means the Machloikes, Rabbi and Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda is dafke where Machloikes b'Shibolim. Again, so let's go back a little bit. Lefi de Ike de Amre, how are we going to understand it? Lefi de Ike de Amre, we're going to understand like this. That the Machloikes b'Shibolim means that over there, Rebbe is Mechayev Trume. Why? Because there is many people that they bring it into the house, and the purpose of these people is to eat it, like Melilois, like Rashi says, Kloyois, that means roasted, without doing from it a Kri, without doing a Miruach, Kumtois, bringing it into the house, the Shibolim, that is the Goyen, that is the Gmar Meloche, that's what asses it, that's what gives it the Shem Teva. That's the Machloikis. That Rebbe is Mechayev and Rabbi Yossi bar Rabbi Yehuda not. Aval bekitnias, that what? Bederech klal, a person brings it into the house to be memareach it after that to the Kri. So it was not a Gemar Meloche, they're not also with Tevel, and that's why Divrei HaKoil, Yisurai Sel Lo Yitavle. By bringing it in by bundles, it's not going to be Tevel. It's not going to be Tevel. Masechet. Take the Gemara from a Mishnah. The Mishnah, what we put in Trumas before is a Raya. The Gemara brings it as a Shaila. From Poshtase, because now we learned in the Ikadam, where that everyone says that the Yisurai is not going to be good. And that's why take the Gemara a Shaila. My love, this Mishnah was talking about Chavilit Tilson. That's what? That he has over there Chavilit Tilson. My love, Tevel. And the Tevel, what's mentioned in the thing, Tovul, Shel, Trume. That means it was not given Truma Gedola. That means in the beginning, right? What do you give before any other Afrosha? What's the first Afrosha you give? Before any Truma Sumaises, you did Truma Gedola. So you didn't give anything. You didn't Mafrish Bechal Truma. So what's Mochachum over here? That Chavilei Tilson are considered Tevel also if you did not Mimareach it in a Kli, right? Even before it. There's the Gemara Eloi. The Mishnah is not talking about this case. The Mishnah is talking about over here. These Chavilois Tilson, these bundles of Tilson, or fenugreek, or this type of kit is already in the hand of the Levi. And it's talking about over here, these Chavilois Tilson, what the Levi got it from the soil. That means what we call Higdim, right? And he gave Meiser before he gave the Miruach. Or before he was Mafet to Mekdoy. To Mekdoy, you not mischayev to he did the Miruach. Before he done the Miruach, before he done the Kri over there, he came when he tells the Levi, you get 10% Meiser Rishon, take it now. Now this type of Tilson, right, is chayev now. The second the Levi got it, is chayev Truma, right? Trumas Meiser, what's called Trumas Meiser is called what the Levi from the 10% what he got from the Yisrael, he has to give now the Trumas. Now even before it was Mismareach, why? Because this is what we call, as we call it, Tevel Tovul Shel Truma, the Trumas Meiser. Yeah. Tevel Tovul Shel Trumas Meiser, that's what it's called. וכדי רבבו, let's see the din. The Gemara brings this din from רבבו. כדי רבבו אמר רב שמעון בן לוקיש. לא אמר רבבו בן לוקיש. לא אמר רבבו אמר רב שמעון בן לוקיש. מייסר ראשון. שהקדימוי בשיבולין. מייסר ראשון שהקדימוי בשיבולין, that means it was much they saw before the miruach. So it's chalon ad Hashem meiser, even though it was not yet mischav meiser. Now, shmoi toiv loy letrumas meiser. That means shmoi. That means the shem what he gave it meiser rishon toiv letrumas meiser even before the miruach, and that means the Levi has to give it now. The meiser he has to give trumas meiser even before the miruach. He's not allowed to eat it before he's mafrish trumas meiser like posted like regular tevel. Like regular tevel. Yeah, Rashi says this is dino ketevel gomo, and you're not allowed to eat even achilas sarai and he's chayav mise till he's going to give trumas meiser. But now let's talk about it. When you talk about Chavilois Tilson, right? Regular Chavilois Tilson, before the Miruach, they're part of a Meiser. They're not Tevel till when? Till you give me Marech. Now, we said that our Mishnah of Chavilois Tilson, right? It's talking about the Levi that got it from the Meiser from before the Miruach. So this is what we learned, right? Koitesh, what we said. It's talking about the Levi, right? And he's giving it after the Kedisha, he's giving it to the Kohen. Says the Gemara, Koitesh Lomoli. Why after the Levi is after the Kodesh before the Nesina to the Kohen? In order to come and say that the seeds are prepared for Tilson, even before it. Lei Melei says the Gemara, let's say that what? Who should say? The Levi should tell the Kohen, Lei Melei, the Levi should tell the Kohen. The same thing like they gave me. The Israel came and gave me my Sarishon. He gave me the Tilson with the pods. I'm giving you the same thing. I'm going to give you from this Meiser, Mina Meiser. Yeah, he's giving him 10% for what I got from the soil. Why I have to come to metaken it? Why I have to come to be koiteshet? Why? Because if the Beitza, we're talking about the soil, not the Levi. No, very good. The soil has to come to crush it before giving it to the Kohen. Why? Because the same like Tvue, right? Yisrael min HaTorah to come and to fix the Tvue, right? It's called to be metaken the Tvue before you give it to the Kohen. To the Kohen, you give something that's called Dovo Metukon. Dafka, you give it to the Kohen. The same thing also. The Kohen was metaken to come to give also by Tilson. Be koitesh. Why the Kohen has to work hard? You be koitesh it, you crush it, take out the seeds, and give it to the Kohen. But right, so the chiyuv is right. So Chachamim was metaken at what? The same thing also Chachamim was metaken by Tilson. The chiyuv, Tilson, the old Trum is the Rabbanon, yeah, because it's not Pirush Dog of Beitza. So the same thing like what something that's Chaim in HaTorah, you have to come and do a tikkun before, and also Chachamim was metaken the same thing. But if you talk about the Levi. Let's talk about Trumas Meiser. We don't find that the Chiyuv and the Levi to be metaken the Trumas Meiser that he's giving to the Kohen. We definitely say a Yisrael has to give something metukon, but the Levi doesn't have to give something metukon. So the same thing, the Levi doesn't have to give Trumas Meiser. Why you tell the Levi to come and be kodesh? Or not that the Levi should come and say, look, I got this from the Yisrael, 10% from what the Yisrael had. Now I have to give you Meiser, Mina Meiser, 10% from what I got. Vakasha. Give Meiser Mina Meiser from the Tilson the same way you got it from the Yisrael. Says the Gemara, and it's a very interesting thing we're going to say. Omar Rove, the Chiyuv K'tisha, what the Levi has to do it is a nudin, knose. It's a knas. Chachomim gave a knas to the Levi because you are Messiah in Varavere. The Israel was over, right? Melech Ovadim Achol Oiseacher. There's an issue to come to be Magdim. Meiser Rishon before Truma. Because you are Messiah by the Israel. The come to be over the Avere. When you received from the Meiser, he came and gave you Meiser before he gave Truma, before he gave Miruach. You knew that. The Torah was Mechayev to first give Truma Gdoilo to the Miruach. To give Truma Gdoilo. Truma Gdoilo you can give only after you've done the Miruach and not beforehand. After that, to be mafrish after Truma Gdoilo, Trumas Meiser, and therefore it came and give the knas to this Levi. You give the kohen because you took Meiser Rishon before the kohen. You're going to come now and get this knas. Like the same, like the Yisrael has to come and to give something metukan to the kohen. You also give now something metukan to the kohen. Tanya Nameoche says the Gemara that we gave a knas of it to the Levi that to come and to do a tikkun to the Trumas Meiser for Meiser that he took before the Miruach. Where do we find it? We find the Beitza, Ben Levi. Shenosnu lo shibolim. That means shibolim is before Miruach, yeah? So you gave the Levi before the Miruach. B'ma'asoysim, ma'asoysim means the Ma'aser Rishon. Oisoysim goyran. He has to do it, the Tisha himself. He has to be metaken it, to do the Tisha, to do the goyran, everything he has to do before he gives it the Tumas Meiser to the Kohen. And if he gave it to the Meiser when they are still, yeah, if they gave him Meiser Rishon, when it's still anovim, that means before miruach, before you done it to wine. So what he has to do? Oisoison yain. If they gave the Levi zeisim, oisoison shemen, and only after that, umafrish aleyan tumas ma'aser and nois lekoyen. Why? Shekashem shetume gedoilo. You give to the kohen only einoni teles elo dafin gimel beis mina goyren umina yekev. What you get, that means what means when I go in my Yekev? After the tikkun, after you've done the tikkun, that you give the Levi, that the Levi gives the soil, right? That the Levi got by the soil. So when the Levi was magdim to take it from the soil before the tikkun, einon iteles elo min hagoyren umin hayekev. So that is what we see over here. Mam is the same thing that we do sometimes give over here a knas from for the Levi. So the same thing over here, we gave a knas to the Levi because you came and you took the hafoshe from the soil, you helped them from the soil, you took it before the Gemar, and that's why now also he's going to come and get it before he's going to have to do the Gemar Apri. Fine, we're going to stop over here. The Chol HaPoch has returned the Omid. And we're going to continue tomorrow, the 8:45. Yes.
Can we just ask very quickly? I understand in the case of fitting of wheat, I understand, okay, the Kohen can't really use the wheat unless he wants to suck the wheat, which is not very common, but one wants to make flour from wheat. That I understand. But what is wrong with grapes? I mean, so what is wrong with the Kohen to eat grapes? He doesn't have to make wine from it. He can eat grapes.
That is the tikkun. That is the tikkun, Shabbai. Anything, what that is the tikkun, anything that's the tikkun, right? Because it says, what says in the Torah? Dogon tiroish ve'itzol. Right? Tiroish. What's tiroish?
Tiroish is wine and oil.
Yeah. Dogon tiroish ve'itzol. And we see from over here something very interesting, as you're saying, that what we saw over here, legabi the knas, yeah, that right, we said leimele right, because if the Beitza would come and tell me that what we're talking about the Yisrael and not the Levi, so no, the Yisrael when he comes and he gives the Kohen, so let's say talk about Tilson, what the Beitza is talking about. So the Yisrael, when he comes to give it to the Kohen, he would have to come and to do Ktishe, take out the seeds, give him something metukan, right? You have to give something metukan. Why? Because the same like Tvuah, Yichayim min HaTorah, to be metaken, and he said Dogon, Tirosh, Ve'itzor, it has to be Dogon, it has to be Tirosh, it has to be Itzor. The same thing with metaken, Chachoy was metaken in Tilson, that even the whole thing is at the Rabbanon. The whole thing is the Rabbanon, the Chiyuv is only with the Rabbanon. They did the same Chiyuv what you have in HaTorah to give something metukan, also with the Rabbanon when you have to give to somebody, you have to give something that is metukan. But if it's talking about over here, a Levi, yeah, Tumas Meiser, we don't find there's a chiyuv on the Levi to be metaken Tumas Meiser that he gives to the Kohen. In Oivazoi, the Levi does not need to be metaken Tumas Meiser by coming and crushing it. Just what it's enough that he should give Meiser mina Meiser to the Kohen for what he got. He got Tilson the way it is. Give it over to the right the same way you got the Meiser from Yisrael. And for the Gemara, it's a Knas. But in this idea, and this is what a little bit Feinfeld, what Stevie said also, in this idea, the Brisker Rov and Ilchus Tumas on Rambam, the Sefer agrees. Rambam explains from the Shail of the Gemara, before the Gemara says the Teretz of Nas, he explains a very interesting yesod in the chiyuv of giving Tumas. He says the chiyuv nesina, what we said minagomo, yeah, from what's metukon, it's not a din in the Maisa Frosha. It's not a Maisa Frosha. Ich macha Maisa Frosha, da wir geben metukon. No. It's a schus what the Kohen has. The Kohen can come and he has a tviyah. I come as a Kohen. Ich will gomel. Ich will metukon. Ich will, that was it's a tiny from the Kohen. Why? Let's think about it a second. Because it's a very interesting idea. Because if it's a chiyuv in the afroshe, if it's a chiyuv, let's think a second. If it's a chiyuv in the afroshe, I'm being mafrish, ich darf geben metukon. What do I care, right? That the Levi got that we saw after it was metukon. He's have to be mafrish min agomu. I have a froshe. I have to give the Kohen. I have to give metukon gomu. The Levi, he has ma'aser min ma'aser. He also has to give metukon. Must be because we have a tiny. If not the knas, yeah, it's a knas. But if not the knas, the Yisrael gave it to the Levi, not metukon. So the Levi, it's a tiny. The Gemara comes and says it's a tiny. If not knas, right? That's a teretz. Must be that the schus is by the Kohen, not the Yisrael. And once the Kohen comes to the Levi with a tiny, yeah, I deserve to get something. I got it this way. You got it this way. Must be that does, as I said, it proves the Brisker, very interesting yesod. And the chiyuv trume, so nicht am meisten da froshe, that there has to be metukon, it's the schus of the Kohen that has to be metukon, and that's why it fits very good, that the Shaila de Gemara. Just what? It's so simple, right? It says noch al shver. Why? Because we know, ein termin min hagomor al sheino gomor. You cannot come and give termin min metukon al sheino metukon. Now, this din is not because of the schus of the Kohen, because he prefers the gomo. He prefers the gomo, right? He prefers the metukan. Must be, it's from the dinei afroshe. So how can you pater the Levi because the Yisrael was not mekayim? Ma'akesher. The Gemara comes and says, the Levi says, right? So, the Brisker of Freg, l'choyre, ein tomi mina gomo al sheino gomo. Must be it's in the, if it's the schus of the Kohen, what the Kohen cares? I get the gomo for tuv. I don't care. If it's not a problem in the afroshe, why we say ain't tovim in a metukan al sheina metukan? Why not? And once we understood now from this shaila that you ain't tovim in a go al sheina gomu, that what it's not in the schus of the Kohen, it's in the ma'ase afroshe that you have to give metukan. So what's a taina? The Israel gave the Levi, yeah. The Israel gave me a metukan. I'm giving you a metukan. You have a chiyuv afroshe, and I'm giving metukan. Explains us this. The reason the ptur is because the Levi doesn't have in mind to come to do the Kedisha. He doesn't want to come and to crush it. He wants to come and to give the Tumah the way it is. That's the way he wants it. And that's why there's no chiyuv in the Ma'aseh Afrosha. There's no chiyuv in the Ma'aseh Afrosha. Why? Because he doesn't want to crush him. That's the way he wants it. He got it this way. He wants it this way. So he can come and give the Afrosha this way. So mitzad the Ma'aseh Afrosha, it's not chayav. Just what? Now it's also a schus of the Kohen. There's also a schus of the Kohen. Why? Because the Yisrael actually, he did want to come and to do Kedisha. So that's why they counted the Levi on the hefsed of the Kohen. And on this schus, right? Taina the Levi, I didn't get it that way. And that's why we do a knas that the Kohen should get it through this way, the way the Yisrael wanted to come and to be mafrishet. The Yisrael wanted to be mafrishet when after the Kedisha. A very interesting thing. The Kohen wanted, the Yisrael wanted to be mafrishet after the Kedisha. The Kohen says, I'm losing out because you want to be mafrishet azoi. You say that, so you in the Ma'aseh Afrosha, you don't have to. But and that's why that is the knas what we came and give. And yeah. And that was the thing. Okay. Fine. Yeah.
What's the state of giving Bogon? When is it Metukon?
Metukon means you're giving a nice grade, the without the chop, without the like.
Ears of corn, not flour, not flour.
No, you don't have to give it dogon. Dogon means that it's after the disha, once it's done by the goyim. It's called what the Torah calls dogon.
So
Dogon is called Goyren. Yeah. Fine. Very good. Let's say the Gomo. Thank you very much.
Yes, to you.
Have a nice day, everyone.
well,
Yeah, we're gonna have to catch up a little bit. Fine. Call it. Have a nice day.